as we explore Isabella's background, it becomes clear that she was a woman of strong character, far more capable than the men who tried to control her. Born into a life of luxury, she was raised to be a queen, but she was also a Frenchwoman. Her loyalties were constantly torn between her adopted country and her homeland. In the early 1320s, the situation in England became unbearable. A new favourite, Hugh Despenser the Younger, had completely seized control of the king. Despenser was a man of legendary greed. He systematically stripped Isabella of her lands, her income, and even her French servants. He treated the Queen of England like a prisoner in her own court. The events that led to her becoming a pivotal player in the English throne's history were complex. In 1325, a golden opportunity arose. Conflict broke out between England and France over territories in Gascony. Isabella was sent to Paris to negotiate a peace treaty with her brother, King Charles IV. It was a move Edward and Despenser would soon regret. Once on French soil, Isabella refused to return. She famously declared that she would not set foot in England until Hugh Despenser was removed. She was a woman on the edge, driven by a desire to protect her son. It was here, in the French court, that she met Roger Mortimer, an exiled English lord who shared her hatred for the Despensers. Their alliance was more than political. It became a scandalous romance that would shake the foundations of Europe. The moment of truth arrived in September 1326. Tired of her husband's antics and terrified for her son's future, Isabella took matters into her own hands. Using her dowry and French support, she and Roger Mortimer launched an invasion of England. To the surprise of the king, the people of England did not fight back for him. They were tired of the Despensers' tyranny. Towns opened their gates to Isabella, hailing her as the saviour of the kingdom. She was no longer a discarded wife, she was a conqueror. The climax of her story is the brutal downfall of the favourites. Hugh Despenser was captured and executed. But the biggest challenge remained: what to do with a king. In a move that was legally unprecedented, Isabella and Mortimer forced Edward II to abdicate the throne in favour of his son. This was a significant turning point in English history. Shortly after, Edward II died in captivity. For 3 years, Isabella and Mortimer ruled England as regents. During this time, Isabella lived in luxury, but Mortimer grew arrogant, taking on the airs of a king. In 1330, in a dramatic midnight raid at Nottingham Castle, the 18-year-old Edward III seized power. Mortimer was dragged to the gallows, and Isabella was forced to step down. Many expect her story to end there, in a dungeon or an executioner's block. But Edward III loved his mother. Instead of executing her, he retired her to a life of quiet luxury. She spent her final decades as one of the wealthiest women in England, travelling, collecting fine books, and engaging in charity. Isabella's legacy is complex. She was a woman who defied convention, who took risks and challenged the status quo. She was the only woman to ever successfully lead an invasion of England and depose a king. Yet, she is often remembered as the she-wolf. But when we look at the facts, we see a woman who was pushed to the brink and fought back to save herself and the future of the English monarchy. Her story is a testament to the power of women in history. So, what do you think? Was Isabella a traitor or a protective mother? Share your thoughts below. If you enjoyed this, check out my other videos on the brutal past. Thanks for watching.